Hello everyone, dear community. A very warm welcome to this new video. It's great to have you back with us. Today, we have a small practical gadget for the garden on test for you, specifically a battery-powered pruning shears, more precisely, the Einhell GELS 18Li. Let's find out what this compact battery-powered pruning shears really has to offer, whether it's worth investing in or if it's better to stick with the manual version. Before we start, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel for free and activate the bell to stay updated on new videos in the future. You can find the current prices of this item in the video description below. Thank you very much for your support, and let's get started after the intro. It's that time again. We're in the middle of the gardening season, and of course, a typical pruning shears should not be missing. However, for those of you who want to cut many or perhaps quite large branches, a manual shears might not be sufficient. That's why today I have a battery-powered pruning shears from Einhell for you, specifically the GELS 18Li. Starting with the scope of delivery, we don't have much with the solo version, which means we only have the actual battery-powered pruning shears from Einhell and all the paperwork, including the user manual, safety instructions, and the like. You either already have a battery or charger from Einhell, or you need to purchase them separately, the links for which can also be found in the video description below. For this reason, I'd say let's take a detailed look at the new battery-powered pruning shears from Einhell. Regarding the first impression, I have to say that the device looks really high quality and robust to me. That means we have very good craftsmanship here, no plastic residue, and consistent gaps. The housing is made of thick and sturdy plastic, which, in my opinion, doesn't feel too heavy at first glance. I measured it once. The battery-powered pruning shears have a solo weight, meaning without the battery, of just around 800 grams on the scale, plus, of course, the corresponding battery. In this case, I'm using the most powerful and largest battery from Einhell, the multi-ampere-hour battery. That brings us to an impressive weight of 1,800 grams. In terms of weight, I must say that the battery-powered pruning shears are really lightweight in my opinion. Of course, in practice, you probably won't use such a large battery, but rather a smaller one, as shown in the picture. With that, the device will likely weigh around 1,000 grams, and I would say that's definitely great in terms of handling. Speaking of handling, the shears have a nicely sized handle positioned in the middle, as you can see, which ensures a secure and effective grip and control of the device. I measured it once. We have a circumference of around 14 centimeters, which, in my opinion, is not too much, allowing the shears to be comfortably held even with smaller hands. Additionally, as you can see, the handle is rubberized on both the top and bottom, making it even more slip resistant. On the bottom, you'll find the essential controls, namely these two black switches. Here at the back, we have the release button, and just in front of it, the switch to activate it. In terms of handling, I must say that the controls are quite comfortable and ergonomic in my opinion, and as you can see, they're large, which means they can easily be operated. However, there is the issue that you could accidentally activate the shears if I unlock it here and accidentally press it at the front. To address this, right at the back, there is another black slide switch labeled on and off. With that, it's possible to fully lock or activate the battery-powered pruning shears. Additionally, we have a small metal belt clip here, which allows you to temporarily store the battery-powered pruning shears on your belt. Regarding the power supply, we need a battery to operate this battery-powered pruning shears, specifically an 18-volt power exchange battery from Einhell in this case. As mentioned before in the text, I used a large multi-ampere-hour battery, which is quite heavy. Personally, I would recommend using a significantly smaller battery for better handling, such as a 2.5 ampere-hour battery from Einhell. They look like this. I will also include a link to them in the video description below. The batteries themselves are inserted from the back into the battery compartment, securely and easily snapping into place and ensuring a nice balanced center of gravity. Of course, with this large battery, this is not as well guaranteed, meaning the center of gravity should be nicely centered with a 2.5 ampere hour battery. Now, let's move on to the front, where we find the heart of the shears, namely the built-in brush motor and, more importantly, the two blades. In this case, it's clearly about so-called bypass blades, which means, visible from the other side as well, we have the nicely sharpened blade on top and another slightly flattened one below. This means that both blades do not directly meet each other but pass very closely, which ensures an extremely clean and precise cut in practice. In the practical test, I tested the shears in conjunction with the large multi-ampere hour battery, which I fully charged in advance for maximum power on branches of varying thicknesses. I started with relatively thin branches up to a maximum of 20 millimeters to get familiar with the device, to feel its handling, and of course to see how well the battery-powered branch shears actually perform in practice. As you can see, there were definitely no problems. In terms of handling, I must say the device feels quite good. It can be easily and securely gripped and has no difficulties with thin branches up to 20 millimeters. Furthermore, I also tested significantly thicker branches with different types of wood, such as hardwood. So I ventured into oak wood and performed several cuts. As you can see in the test, even with hardwood like oak, the battery-powered branch shears clearly had no problems. That's why I pushed it to the limit and pushed the battery-powered branch shears to its maximum. As I mentioned, the device is designed for a maximum of 28 millimeters. However, in the test, I also checked much thicker branches up to 32 millimeters, which are definitely possible, but as you can see in the video, it requires multiple attempts. I will also link the detailed test video for this battery-powered shears on the info card on the right. This means that it can easily handle the specified 28 millimeters that the device is supposed to handle. I would say that 30 millimeters are also possible, but anything more simply won't fit. So, overall, regarding this battery-powered branch shears, I can say that, in my opinion, the device has performed quite well. I have no complaints about its handling or performance. Therefore, to all those who spend a lot of time in the garden and need to trim a lot, and who don't want to rely solely on manual shears but may need some assistance, I would definitely recommend the Einhell battery-powered branch shears, especially if they're already using this battery system. Now, it's your turn. What's your opinion on this battery-powered branch shears from Einhell? Have you possibly already had experience with this device? Then feel free to write me your feedback in the comments below. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts because that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, please show it by giving a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, quickly subscribe to the channel for free and activate the bell icon to not miss any future videos. You can find the current prices for this branch shears in the video description below. Thank you very much for your contribution, and with that, I would say good night. See you next time. Until then, goodbye.